So I wake up and it's really abusive when your family just disengages because you have an illness. It's abusive. And so I face that every day. I wake up and I have bad dreams. The store glove of a parent. My dad has a certain amount of illness in himself that he can't even perceive what I am or what I do. Um, I do have manic episodes at times, but I never dated my child's mother. I mean, when I go to James's concert, sometimes his friends hit on me, but I don't go because I don't want to upset my son. So what my dad did is far worse than me going in a hospital for a manic fit. I've never placed my hands on anyone like Jennifer placed her hands on me to control me. You can't control a bipolar illness that way. You have to go see a doctor and take medicine. And the isolation that my dad does to isolate himself from society because he suffers bipolar. My granddaddy and grandmommy, I don't, because they took care of my dad when he was so sick and he was he was in in a nuclear family unit going in and out to see a girlfriend, and that freaked us out. I had an eating disorder. It was horrible. What his behavior did was crazy. Choosing to live at the house with my mother who's not accepting of it. Somehow that's okay, but I do accept that he was ill and he couldn't control himself. And that's an illness. That's called bipolar depression. He'll explosive temper, but it doesn't change the fact that I suffer also with a hereditary illness. And he makes up stuff. He says, oh, she's borderline and whatever person. Trust me, it's enough to have a bipolar episode. You don't have to have anything else on top of it to make it more and more difficult. Because my disability is so low, I've asked him for some financial help while I pursue my World Preschool show that's coming up. He probably won't even read the email because he's so closed off to the reality. It's so sad because everything that happens, he's so negative. And I really feel like my daughter Hillary has inherited some negativity that she needs to deal with. And I can't, Morgan gets it. She lived with me, and one time she said something pretty smart ass in the car, and I said, I'm not taking you to Richmond. And I dropped her off at her Nana's house. That was horrible. I should have put up with it because she's a teenager. But I just called her the other day. I said, I'm really sorry about that. And she goes, Mom, I know you were sick. You weren't doing well. I'm so sorry, my family. Jennifer has issues. She has an issue. Give me a fucking tissue, fucking bitch. She takes all John's money. And then, behind my back, took all of Jerry's. And I would tell you right now, while I'm pursuing my art, that Jerry would not want me to be homeless. I think everyone knows Jerry would never have taken all that money. Maybe he needed a little more, but he would have made sure I had transportation or something. But he cared about me, and I cared about him, even though we had issues. My dad didn't even help my mom at all, ever. Even when he inherited a bunch of money, he still didn't give her any kind of alimony, which she deserved. She stayed in that house all the time with these kids. But I concur it to his illness, that he's gone. He's 83 and he's wasted his entire life. And, Joyce is just not as educated as Mom was. And I think she takes the patriarchal treatment that he gives her. I don't know. It's just a matter of getting up and making your day good. Because I get up like kind of in a PTSD thing. Like, it's terrible. My family doesn't talk to me. Not even Hillary. And Hillary's a control person because she was with Nana and Jennifer, but you can't control it. You just got to let me be me. And you got to set boundaries. If I'm really sick, say, hey, man, I'll give you a call in a few days. Please, go get some help. The isolation that they give me is so unhealthy. It also breeds that kind of behavior breeds the mass murders. Like, if I was a guy with testosterone, I might get violent about this. I'm like, you can't treat me this way. And I'm not, but like Cray Deed's son, the isolation and it makes suicides. So I think you do have a responsibility to be knowledgeable about mental illness in a society that's very prevalent with many people suffering many different types. I think almost every human suffers some kind of mental problem. Um, I mean, I hope I make it as an artist and I have enough money to tell them to all fuck off.